Welcome, welcome, welcome. Day 2 is on its way or underway. Good to go? Good to gizzy? Yes. Welcome to day 2 of Online Teaching Tools Workshop. And it's entitled E-Timesheets, Office 365, and Google Services. Woo! We feel electrified? Feel great? All right, so yesterday's lesson, we tackled what makes online teaching so important, right? And certain terms were thrown out there: blended learning and flipped classrooms and the 21st century teacher. Yeah. And then we took a little look at RVLE and some basic things that we can do with RVLE that we can survive this whole teaching majiggy. So we looked at how RVLE is laid out. We looked at editing the settings. We looked at increasing the file size for submissions for students. We looked at creating an assignment and course completion, aka completion tracking, so the students can check off as they go along. We took a look at setting the grades and groupings and groups. So lots of stuff we covered in yesterday's session. All right, today is no different. It's actually worse. Today we're gonna cover more stuff than yesterday, but we're ready, right? We're good to go. Yay, we're ready. Ready. Huh? Okay, fine. Ready. I will work with the ready. So more specifically, Office 365, I want to look on OneDrive and Yammer. And then for Google services, we're going to look at Drive, because everybody knows Drive, Blogger, Jamboard, Arts and Culture, and Expedition. Arts and Culture, especially Expedition, is where the excitement is. Trust me. All right. So as before, you have the slides available. So if you look in the outline, you'll see day 2. So today is Wednesday, and in the series of links that are there, you'll see one that says slides. You can click and follow along. So let me mark the register. We're not going to record the register part of things, right, gentlemen? So present. All right. So have you ever missed? Oh, I don't want to go into this first. I'm going to give Mr. Shelton some time to speak about the e-timesheets, but that's all about accessing another service that you uses, which is PeopleSoft. And PeopleSoft, you can make lots of requisitions in there, including your e-timesheet, and of course, getting paid for all of this work and planning, right? So we're gonna give Mr. Shelton a little time. So we're gonna jump to slide 9, where that says Office 365 versus Google services. All right. So I am a weirdo. I will admit that publicly and on camera, because I'm one of those persons who have actually had experience in using Google services for education and Office 365 for education. Usually an institution chooses a group of services that the instructors are to use, and they simply stay with that set of services. And what we're finding, maybe because there's so much money in education, because there is, it's just the teachers aren't getting it. Anywho, everyone is now developing services for educators. So I can't recall who started it. I can only tell you I remember seeing Google doing it first, okay? But even Apple has entered the game. Apple has, if you check your Apple phone now, there is like an education tunes or something like that where you can access. So like how you have iTunes, there is an EDU tunes or something like that where you can access information specifically for educational purposes. Yes. So everybody is jumping into the game. So when Google jumped into the game, again, I have no shares in Google. Unfortunately. I have no shares in Google. I do not have any personal relationship with the people that own Google or work at Google. So I have no idea what the mindset was behind. These are all assumptions that I'm making based on the activities that I saw, right? But when Google came on to the sphere, they seem as though they were trying to satisfy small businesses with the services that they created. So they had Google Drive, which was clearly something that would compete with the Microsoft Suite, Office Suite. But you could get it at minimum cost to free in all the services that Google was releasing when it just came on, and when it just decided to go beyond being a search engine, right? And then I noticed after a while that some of those services, you could use them in the classroom. So you would have an accounting service where on the other end you would have to purchase a QuickBooks and Peertree and those expensive services, which most of the time those students wouldn't be able to access, when now you could go to a Google services like a FreshBooks and get that for minimum cost to free, and then you could expose the students to these different type of things that they would have done using more expensive software, but at the same time it's more accessible to them. I don't know if that's what other educators found, that you could use these Google services within the educational arena, but then after a while I noticed that there were services being offered through Google that were specifically now for teachers and for students and for the updated classroom, right? And so as time went by, I just saw these new stuff coming up and I started experimenting with these different services. So if anything, I will call myself a Google baby because that's where I started this journey, right? So till eventually Google, now they are a powerhouse when it comes down to educational services. They have an online conference called Education on Air that you can go to. It's 100% free, and all you have to do is log in. Actually, do you log in? No. You go to the website, and they have different lectures that they do live. I'm shivering because in here is cold. Okay, so it's not nerves, it's just in here is cold. All right, so you just go to the website and then you see different sessions that you can go in, and it's Google Hangouts that they use, and they use Google Slides, and after the presentation is completed, they save it, and then you can go to the website. And this one, you turned off this one, this AC, this is the one that's murdering me. Thank you so much. So that's Education on Air. They are now on Twitter, which is where I follow them, as Google for Education. And so everything that they're doing, Google is doing. Every service that they have, that's who I'm following to find out what's the new thing that's happening with Google. And of course, they now have their own learning management system, which is Google Classroom. And they did a complete overhaul. So they released the Chromebook. Anybody who knows, you can buy a Chromebook for like $100 US, $200 US, which is really, really cheap. It literally is just an interface for all the Google services that they have. They sell those to all the institutions, to those little primary schools, secondary schools, and then those educators are now trained to teach using those tools, and that's a Google thing. So Google has a severe push, a very strong push towards education, right? I don't know, again, this is all just my observation. I don't speak to the people who are in charge, but Microsoft, my assumption is they saw what was happening with Google and decided, hey, we're going to have a strong push for education as well. And so now Office 365 is a package that is offered for institutions. So you'll find it at the primary level, secondary level, and of course, tertiary level, because UWI is one of those schools that purchased the Office 365 package from Microsoft, right? And again, you can go on Twitter. Twitter is where I live, right? So you can go on Twitter, and I think it's Microsoft Education, something like that. So you have one that is, it's either Google for Education or Education Google, and then you have Microsoft for Education or Education, right? Whatever it is, you just search for Microsoft and Education, and you'll find it. And again, every single tool that they have within the package of Office 365 have their own personality, and then they tell you how you can use these tools for education, right? So even though I'm a Google baby, I love the fact that you get 1 terabyte of free space. I'm looking directly into the camera now. Make sure that this is recorded. Keep this in the video, gentlemen. 1 terabyte of free space is owed to you as a UWI lecturer or student. And then for people like me who want to become a UWI student next year, that means 2 terabytes of free space, because yes, I'm going to activate my student Office 365. What? It is free space. You know how much you have to pay for a terabyte of online space? I'm going to use it, right? Now, so this slide, I tried to do some kind of comparison, but really and truly, there are things that Microsoft does that Google doesn't do, and there are things that Google does that Microsoft doesn't do. Okay,
Google services are technically all free.
Okay, so what Google has done, they actually have G Suite. And G Suite, you have to pay for G Suite, or your organization pays for G Suite, right? But I'm being recorded, so what you do, you can find the individual services and sign up for the individual services if they are available to an individual, and sometimes they are free. But I only recommend the free ones because we're lecturers and not getting paid that much. So I am 100% for free stuff for lecturers, and I am even 1,000% for free stuff for students because they're even worse than we are, right? So I'll never recommend anything that you have to pay for, even though in this workshop there are 2 services that will be introduced to you that are paid stuff, but again, this is just introduced and not necessarily telling you that you have to, right? And they are actually very useful, so I decided that I should introduce them. So let's look at this. Office 365 has OneDrive and Google has Drive. I mean, these guys are so imaginative. It's the same name, okay? But it's a little bit different. So OneDrive is really just the online storage, while Drive for Google is online storage, but you can also have your spreadsheets in there, as in you can create your spreadsheets, you can create your word processing documents and your slides, right? While for Microsoft, they have Word, Excel, and PowerPoint separate from OneDrive. With me so far? All right. Awesome sauce. Now, the next one I want to talk about is that this is one that I've been using very heavily since last year, which is Yammer. Yammer is pretty much like Facebook. Pretty much like Facebook. So it's a social media space created specifically for your Office 365 account. And so what I use it for, I'll get into it. I'll get into why I use it later, but it's a social media space and it's quite intuitive. If you've used Facebook, you pretty much can fudge your way through Yammer, right? Okay. And Blogger is a simple way of creating blogs, right? But in some ways you can compare Blogger to Yammer, because if it is that you're asking the students to write stuff on a social media space, yes. Yeah.
Blogger isn't for, Blogger wouldn't be for like doing a blog specifically. Yammer is more social. I mean, they're both.
Yeah, they're social, but they're you can use them for similar things. So they're not exactly the same. That's what I'm saying, but you can use them for similar things.
Money from Blogger.
Oh yes, but definitely not. Definitely not from Yammer. Yammer was made specifically so you could have internal communication. No, okay, so I'm gonna look into the camera at this time and say this part is for the people at MITS. Okay, I'm gonna be good, and I'm gonna tell everyone. All right. So what's happening now with Office 365? As lecturers, we're not able to really utilize Office 365 in the truest sense as to what it was created for. And the reason for that, granted, it's a good thing and a bad thing why this happened. Okay. So as a lecturer, you are given an email address that says so-and-so at umona.edu.jm, right? The students are given an email address that says so-and-so at mymona.edu.jm, something like that. Office 365 sees that as two different organizations. So last summer, I had to invite some lecturers. I invited some lecturers and some students for a session where we could really test Office 365 to see if, because it's between two different domains, will we be able to get the functionality out of it like how we want to get the functionality? We do not. So Office 365, you were supposed to be within a class, within your institution, and then you as a lecturer, you create a classroom and you invite your students into the classroom, right? Mm-hmm. And you can create a grade book. They have some awesome stuff, even like the note-taking one. Let me see, OneNote. They have stuff like OneNote and Classroom Notebook, those apps, but they don't really work for us because it's supposed to be a collaborative tool between teacher and student, but because Office 365 seeing us as two different
entities,
it's not allowing us to do that.
So alright, let me see how this is applied. Again, all of this is new to me, especially Office 365. You would come to class, log in, students log in, and the student can do various things on it, such as if they need to use the drive for whatever they need to use the drive for, if there's something that they need to upload, if they want it to be a social space with their peers and if other students or anybody else that is on Office 365. We don't touch on forums yet, so I don't want to assume what that is for, or let me give it a shot. So I guess for forms would be documents and
I will show you.
All right. The OneNote now, the student is able to make notes during class.
Yes.
Where you should be able to see it, or I should be able to see it.
If it is that you made that decision.
It's just that you is a unique case.
Ecosystem, yes.
Right. and the student will also have access to the tools such as Excel, Word, and PowerPoint. Again, something that can be collaborative.
Exactly.
Between student and lecturer.
Yes.
And streaming of videos.
Oh yes. So they have 2 services that sort of replicate what YouTube does. One is stream and one is video. I have no idea why they have 2. The 2 of them seem like they do the same thing.
So however, is this how we could record lectures then?
Yes.
And
yes.
And students could watch that, lecturers could record
exactly
those lectures.
So there were some services that I found that we could use collaboratively, or find workarounds that both of us could still be in the same space. And there were just some that it wasn't working at all. I think I have Planner listed there. Do I? No, I don't. Yes, I do. Planner is like an online project management tool. So before I was introduced to Office 365, I would use Trello with my students. And what that meant was, as we know, creatives aren't good at planning projects at all, right? There's 1 and 2 of them. There are 1 and 2 of them that are good, but for the most part, creatives tend to go with the flow. We don't want to hear about deadlines. We don't want to hear, you need to give it in now. It's just go with the flow, right? So what I did was introduce project management in my class. So at least when they leave the classroom and they get exposed to that, it's not this big shock to them, right? And with Trello, I could be a part of, so they would create the space, the project, and then I could be a part of that project, and I could track their project, the progress of their project. When I went to Office 365 and found Planner, because we were on 2 different domains, the students would create the projects, and then I wouldn't be able to see it because I'm not in their organization.
Well, this looks like it's something you guys need to fix.
Hence why I was looking at that's why I was looking, and I was like,
so because then it's no longer collaborative.
Exactly. So we had to go through what we did. That over the summer, when I invited those lecturers and students, what we did was we went through each one of the services and saw which ones the students we could collaborate on and which ones we couldn't. And so OneDrive, we have a workaround for OneDrive. Yammer works.
What is the workaround for OneDrive?
The students would have to share the link with us, but they can't. So like with Dropbox, where you could say share it with this person, and then both of you have access to the folder, we can't do that.
What else we have a workaround for?
Yammer allows us to invite persons outside of the organization to join whatever space that you've created on Yammer. So that's the workaround for Yammer. And then Forms, it doesn't matter. Forms is set up. All right, so let me explain what Forms are. So like you do an online survey, or I asked you to fill out a form for your contact sheet. Those are forms. And so Forms just set up where you create your form and then you just have a link, a public link that anyone can go to.
So it's like a information or data
collection. Exactly. So Forms was fine. But whiteboard, again, we have a duplication of services here, because whiteboard sort of does the same thing that Blackboard Collaborate does, but the go-to tool to use is Blackboard Collaborate, and that's for another session. I think that's tomorrow. We'd look at Blackboard Collaborate. But what whiteboard is, and I can do the demonstration with Jamboard because it's the same thing for Google. What whiteboard is, you have an online space and you are writing on whiteboard, and then everyone who is in that online space can see what you're writing. And then you can give other persons permission to write in there as well. So then now everybody, think of research that you are doing across cross country. I'm in one spot, you're in one spot, and we're brainstorming ideas. Both of us can write in there, and we can build out, a brainstorming activity. Or there's a lesson that I want to teach, and there's something I have to draw. Because we know we have tools like Word and Google Drive and stuff that you can share files where persons type, but suppose it's something that you need to draw to collaborate. You can use a whiteboard to do that. And then there was stream or video, which there's a workaround to that. Again, it's just making the link public so then persons can see that link, And we know Excel, PowerPoint, and Word. I'm just not covering those in this session, just because most of us are aware of those tools. Yeah. OneNote. Okay, you're gonna hear this. You're gonna hear me say this all the time. I am not really a lover of Microsoft. I'm not. I'm gonna tell the truth. I'm not. However, there are some things that Microsoft does, and they do it very, very well. OneNote is one of those services. I actually use it now to make notes when I go to staff meetings or when I'm a student in class. I use it to make my notes. It's pretty amazing. You can do audio recordings directly in there. You can upload files directly in there. You can do typed notes and handwriting notes, and it's all in one space. It's amazing. It's amazing. And then I started talking about Planner, and that's project management. So I love Office 365, but I really would have loved it if we could, jump deeper and use it for what it was meant to be used for. And then sometimes it breaks my heart when I'm on Twitter and then I see some persons type some things about how they're using Office 365. I'm like, I can't do that with mine. You're not helping me, but it is what it is. And I know there was a decision why they decided to have the lecturers on UE Mona and the students at my Mona. At one point, we were all on UE Mona, but then you had students like me who were troubling the system, because we were we were students originally, and then we graduated, which we have that email address forever once we are assigned, because you can come back with your masters and all they do is reactivate that email address for us. So once we are assigned, that ID number has that email address with it forever. And so we made the decision, well, I studied at University of West Indies. I have my master's now. I can go and teach at the University of West Indies. And then you end up with a second email address that says chevonice.chevers@UMona, right? And so they had to do the 02, and the numbers were getting ridiculous. I've seen persons where it's so-and-so dot so-and-so 07. I have seen a 07 at umona.edu.jm because persons double up, John Doe. You understand what I'm saying? The names are so common, right, that it's you and you originally as lecturers or students, and then you and you as it got. Why they made the decision to go UE Mona for lecturers, my Mona for students, it's just kicking us in the bum now because we can't really utilize it. I am hoping. I have passed up the information. I don't know if it's got to the top shot. I don't know if it got to the top shot at MITS. So I'm hoping that, because I'm pretty sure all it needs to be is just to say these two domains are the same company, and then I'm hoping, and then we can now collaborate with the students. But that's a drawback with Office 365.
Yeah, because I'm saying it might not necessarily be a mix.
It might not be a MITS thing. It could be, yeah, that needs to sort out the game. But even with the limited functionality that I've got out of Office 365, I still love it. And this is from somebody who don't like Microsoft. So that's saying a lot, right? That this thing is really, really powerful.
What is art and
Oh my. Those are nice stuff. And I have some links. I don't wanna bust it. You know what? You might leave early. So okay. Art and it's not unfortunate. It's just a situation. Art and culture. You can actually do a tour of a museum virtually using art and culture app. It's only in app version. You can't access it through the computer. So what that means is you can find a tour for your students, and you can say, hey students, here's the link, and you send the link to the students, and then you and them go through a tour of maybe a section of a museum or watch an interview. One of them that I found was of an animator that works at Disney, and what the layout of her office space and how she deals with being an animator from day to day, you know? So you can find some interesting things using these services. I have not seen anybody, I'm not saying they don't exist, I'm just saying I haven't seen anybody that has done that like what Google has done. And then Expedition is the museum, and arts and culture, is where you can. So for the animation, we have drawing courses, and the students have to understand sculpturing and drawing, right? And so now you can bring up a painting and you can discuss a painting, because we cannot pick up ourselves and go to like a London and look at their museum to see the painting to have the discussion, right? Or you can bring up a sculpture of David in your classroom, and your students can have a healthy conversation without having to be at the museum to look at the sculpture. So those are some exciting stuff, and we know Google just does some exciting stuff. They're just weird like that. I don't know, they hire people and they come up with some ideas and they say, let's do this. So I'm not saying that Google is better than Office 365. It's just different. Exactly that you are in. Exactly. So honestly, right now with me, I am both. I still use my Google services and I use my Office 365. And if for nothing else, have the Office 365 for that terabyte of space. And just also have those Google services, because every now and then Google has these cheap to free services, and most of the time it's free. Especially if you get in early. And you can share this with your students, and then they won't have any issues, because again it's free, and so they can now do some explorations.
Something is so far.
It sounds good.
Yeah, all of this sounds good.
Yeah.
But it seems as though you're going to have to orient students as well.
Yes, most definitely.
Because if I suggest any one of the above, because I already have problems sending an email.
Oh, preach it, sister.
I'm sending a simple email. And it's cool, and we hope they'll be equally excited.
Mm-hmm.
But to prevent, I don't understand our
problems in the classroom. They need orientation. Yes, I agree 100%. And I'll make the suggestion again. Excuse me. We need to have some kind of orientation course on ORVLE. Once you're a student here, you have to do that course, and that will take you through the steps. You can do a course. You can create a course in ORVLE. All right, there's these two words, synchronous and asynchronous. All it means is at the same time and not at the same time, right? And so you can do it asynchronously. You put videos and instructional videos on the ORVLE. The students can follow that, and then you have them do certain activities. And once they follow through with those activities, they can get a pass-fail that's my take on it. They need to have something like that guides them through the process, so by the time they get to your classroom, they're good to go.
And I think especially for camera, because we're media.
Yes. Equipment time.
Other, the students should be, and the lecturers should be able to handle things like this.
Yeah.
Because I can see that it is not more, but it may still be useful outside of school.
Yes. Exactly. All right, so when you go to the next slide, setting up your Office 365 account, I received this file from Al, who got this from MITS. So I'm not giving you my own thoughts. It gives you the step-by-step guide how you go about setting up your Office 365 account. No, you could be you could use the document, or you could again email MITS or physically go to MITS, or use I like to use the online chat with MITS and seek assistance on setting up your Office 365 account. But I found this step-by-step document quite easy to use. So it is O365 signup.mona.ue.edu. Yeah. And let me see if it will come up for me.
But this is provided that you have the UE.
That's provided that you have your UE Mona email address, because it won't work for if you're a teacher, the UE Mona email address, because this document can work for both teacher and students. So if it's a student, it has to be the My Mona email address, and it takes you through step by step to how to go about activating it. I don't, for this service, I don't get that constant reminder to change my password. Pretty much when you set up your password, you're good. But every now and then, I don't know if it's a security thing, but it's much longer. So it's probably every 6 months or so that it asks you to say, can you update your password? But it's not like a every month thing like with the UE Mona email address. I'm not trying to wash my mouth on anybody in particular. I'm just saying, you know, it can be a bit frustrating. I understand why we're asked to change the password, but whew, yes. See? All right, so next slide. So I've just shown you what my login page is. I had already set up my account, and I go to office.com. That's what the URL that I put in the address bar. And then because it remembers me, you see my email address is already there. Sign in, and I will put in my credentials, my UE Mona email, and the password that I had set up through the previous steps. Next slide, please. And this slide is showing you everything that Office 365 has to offer. And you will see now that, oh my goodness, this thing, there is something in there that allows the students to create apps. Is it Power Automate? Power Apps. I mean, this thing is amazing. Yeah. I haven't experimented with all of them, so that's the reason why I haven't spoken about them. Sway, and this is what confuses me with Microsoft. Sway is pretty much like PowerPoint. They're just also different. I don't know how to explain it. So just like how we have videos and stream, we have, see, there is the same description. I mean, it's the same description. I don't know why they have two, but that's what's available, right? SharePoint manages all of your content. You can actually create a SharePoint page that manages all your content, but I didn't go through all of that. I just really use it for OneDrive. I create my Excel, I create my forms, This is new. Simple and secure mobile chat app. Okay, this was where, no, okay, so this was where I found out that we couldn't do that cross-platform thing. It was actually Teams. Because I had created a team for the animation lecturers so that we could communicate and share documents, because Teams do all of that. And then, as I said, when I'm on Twitter, you hear persons talking about Teams and how they utilize it for education. And I was like, amazing. And even when you create Teams, it says, do you want to create a classroom? It says it. And it says, you can even see where it says you can create the documents and stuff for the classroom. I tried it. It didn't work. I'm sorry. Yeah.
So just from the mere fact that logging in, you have to use 2 different email addresses.
Yeah. That's it. So there are many, and if you want to use them on you personally, as I said, see their staff notebook, I think, is the one that you share with the, no, it's class notebook you share with the students, but but OneDrive, because now I have the Office 365, I use the OneNote personally. So there's stuff in there that you can use personally. I'm hoping that these videos that we are creating, that we can, well, I'll have a talk with the guys as to the formatting and all of that, but we possibly can drop it in the videos or the stream, and then everyone will have access to it since we're all lecturers and on the same domain, right? So stuff like that. But you can go through, but the ones that I want to highlight are Forms, for sure, OneDrive, and the other one that I'm hungry, I can't remember. Yammer, yes. This is what happens when you're hungry. Maslow's hierarchy. I am still at the no learning. All right, so next slide. All right, so the benefits of OneDrive. Of course, I've said it so often. The first thing on the top is 1 terabyte of space. It allows students to organize their files. So here's what I do. They say that I'm evil, but it really is to help them, right? And then afterwards they find out, they realize that it helped them, but when they're in it, they don't like it. So I say to them, create a folder for my course. So let's say come 2905, right? And then inside that folder, every assignment that you're supposed to share with me, you're going to upload it to that folder. And then you're just going to give me the link to the assignment in OrVLE. Now what that does for the student is when they go back to their OneDrive, they'll have their stuff organized. They'll have a folder for this subject, they'll have a folder for this subject, a folder for that subject, and then they can easily find what they need to find, right? Now, that's not something that you have to do. I just realized that students are very bad at organizing their information. So I'm just setting it for them from early so that they get into that groove of organizing their stuff when submitting, or just organizing their stuff overall. They have the ability to share large files, especially with the animation assignments. So what they do is the video file, we give them a parameter. We say it must be MP4 format, and it must be 1080 by 765. That's the number, I can never remember. So we give them that format. Yeah, man. No, it's fine. It's fine. But because it's in MP4 format, it plays in the browser. So what that means is I don't have to download the video in order to view it, mark it, and then, because you know the trauma with that, you're downloading stuff, you don't know if you're getting viruses and all of that stuff. So whether it's a Word document, you can view the Word document directly from the browser. If it's PDF, MP4, you can view it from the browser. Once it's in the OneDrive folder, and you're good to go.
Right.
So that's one thing that I really love about it. And you just have to let the students know that anyone with the link can edit. That's what they have to make sure that it's set to, so that we as the lecturers can see it. Yeah. All right. Now, I had an exercise planned so that we could actually go and create a OneDrive folder, but you don't have access to your OneDrive. So I'm going to bypass the exercise just because I wanted it to be where you're actually doing it, right? And you can see what the students go through. But if anything, you can always link me afterwards, and we can. That's not the credentials. You're good to go. All right, so let's move on to Yammer, and I can show you what my Yammer looks like, so you get a understanding. Avert thine eyes, sir. No, it's not time yet. It's just email time now. And you notice it looks like your Skype login because Microsoft has purchased Skype. Bum, bum, bum. All right, so my login, when I log in, it looks like this because I've activated these apps. Usually it's showing you less, and then in order for you to see the other apps, you have to click on all apps, right? So the Yammer, what I do is I create a group for each cohort. So my first years have a group on their own. My second years have a group on their own, so on and so forth, right? And then I invite the lecturers. So all the lecturers in the program have access to that group. All the students for that cohort have access to the group, right? So if you look on the on the left, over here, you see I have cohort 4, cohort 3, right? Cohort whatever. And I have one for online teaching tools because I wanted to do a demonstration. All right, so let's pick cohort 4. Just picking randomly. So as you can see, it's sort of ish want to look like a Facebook, right? And you can send updates to the students. So let's say there's a communication you want to send. You can send them an update. You can ask a question. You can do polls. Polls is one thing now that we're finding to be an engaging activity to do in your classroom. So if you want to find out like anything, even the polls that you saw, you're on Twitter, have you ever seen, or Instagram, and you see somebody will say, what do you like most, or anything, you can poll on anything. You can praise the students or make an announcement. So it's a good communication tool. But what I really use it for is critiquing. So I'm going to show you some of the students' works. They're not here, so don't tell them, okay? So what they do is, alrighty, it usually shows it's showing me a broken link, so I'm not sure, maybe the internet not behaving as nicely as we'd like it. Let's scroll down some more then. Maybe we'll get some images. There we go. All right. So outside of Orville, so they actually do 2 submissions for me. One is to Orville, so we formalize that. And then they post their works on Yammer, and then each student can critique the works. So instead of having to take up your class time and print it out and put it up on the board, or have them in class and going through each image and critiquing on each one of them, the students post it in Yammer, and then they critique each other as they go along. And in this case, this person uploaded multiple images, so it's just for them to scroll through the images. No man, internet, you not treat me good today, right? So that's the main activity that we use Yammer for, is as a critiquing tool. And videos can be posted there. PDF documents can be, so the PDF documents that I was trying to access earlier was actually their pitch Bibles, the character Bibles. And these were the character designs for that course. And so what you can find now is that we just said to them, label it, because then now different courses can, but that's just because of how I organize the groups. Because any other lecturer now can say, hey, for this other course, post stuff. For this other course, post stuff. Or what I had originally thought of is a group for each class. But then I thought, it won't flow for them. They can take this one thing, so stuff that they've been doing from first year, they will see it in second year and third year, so they can see their progress. And you as a lecturer can also see their progress. So that's it's no, as you can see, some of them I have them for courses. So come 2905, it's for a specific course, and then there are some that are created groups for a cohort. So any which way, any which way. It's also a tool that you can, so when I'm making, I find stuff on animation, I can also post to, so think of it like Twitter, you retweet it in my account, and persons can follow me. So when we went on the initial page, home page, oh dear, why are you flopping me in front of all these fine folk? Don't flop me. You would see some persons on the right that I could follow. There we go. Oh, because it's like, I know that I can do it. So you can actually, it will suggest persons that you can follow, so your students can follow you. And so you are now posting about industry news, what's happening in the know for their industry. And so they can follow you and keep up to date, right? Or you can search for colleagues and follow colleagues and so on and so forth. And it can be this social space that we all can be sharing information, right? My only drawback to using Yammer as a critiquing tool is that, as you notice, let's go back to cohort 4. I had to scroll down, and each student had to post their assessment independently, right? So,
It's not like a comment.
it's a comment. They comment for their for the critique, but for each one, and I'm gonna show you something else, and you're gonna go, oh, that's what she's talking about. Brandon posted, and it's by itself, and then Gabriel will post, and it's by itself. There's another service that I use, a Google service that I use called Google Photos, where you simply create an album, and then now all of the submissions are in one place, right? So that's my only drawback with Yammer. But if I'm going to utilize this Office 365, the Yammer, it works fine. It's just, that's my only thing, and it's really, it's not a huge deal. It's not. I like it. I really do like it. Again, from the person who don't like Microsoft, so that says a lot. So that's Yammer. So you can use it as a reflecting tool as well, because now you can ask the students, talk about what's happening with your experience, because they can type text in there. You can have it as a discussion tool, because in my social media marketing class, I will post questions, and then as the comments, the students now will post what are their thoughts on the question that I posted, you know, and then they now see somebody else's post and they go, no, that's, and a discussion entails, you know. So you can use it for polling, as I said before, just communication overall. And the one that everyone loves about Yammer, you don't have to give your phone number to the students to communicate with you. So on my phone, it's an app, and I just, once the message alert, I know that the student is trying to communicate with me, and I can just click. Unlike WhatsApp, so that's my issue with WhatsApp, and that's the reason why I searched for something other than WhatsApp for my students. What was happening was my student would message me, it's something important, but because I have 20 or 40 or how many messages to go through, I don't see the stuff until like 2 days later, and then they go, oh, this was an emergency. Yeah. While now, if I have them in a different service, one, I don't have to give them a personal phone number in order for them to communicate, and two, I will see when a student is trying to get in touch with me, because you can also send messages in Yammer, and we do that by clicking that little tab up there, messages, and if you click it, you see some students sending me messages. That's all. Those are all students sending me messages. So I like it. I like it a lot. I'm just trying to nitpick because, you know, I don't like Microsoft. And I'm being disgusting. Completely bad. Very, very bad young lady. All right, so those are the tools in Office 365 that I really wanted to highlight. Let me do a demonstration on forms as well. I don't have a slide in here for forms, but let me just show you forms as well. Boom, boom, boom. It is very, very simple to create. There it is. What do you want? You can use forms to create a survey or quizzes or analyze data in Excel, right? And both Google Forms and Microsoft Forms does this, okay? So let's say it can be just a general form where it's asking you, do you want to ask for a multiple choice question, text, a rating? Do you want to ask them for a date, all right? Likert scale, ranking, file upload, pretty much stuff. Once you remember what we did in our research methods class, you see that you should remember. This one though, I don't know. Net promoter score, oh no, section is different. But you can now develop these questions. So if it's a survey, you develop questions based on, you know, if you want it to be closed-ended questions or open-ended questions. But let me show you the one that we love to use it for, a quiz, right? I think I developed one. Wait, I did develop one. So why isn't it in here? I did create one. Oh, I think I created it as a Google form. All right. What I'll do, I'll show you Google Forms, but it's the same, it's pretty much the same steps. As long as you know what it is that you want to ask. But you know what, no, let me do it. Choice, question 1, A or B. I don't know what. Okay, let's ask for a proper question. What's a question? A proper question we could ask our students. What color is the sky? Thank you, Ramon. And so we ask our question, right? And red, turquoise. No, that's too disgusting. Red, yellow, blue. Am I spelling it right? No. Blue or green. And then we say we want this. Goodness. And then we say in the options, nope. Settings. Move, no. Got it.
Required. Where is it? All right, I think that's why I wanted to do the demo as a Google form. There's an option in here that says change it to a quiz instead of a survey. I'm not finding the option. One person, shuffle question, customize. I'm not finding it. Let's do it as the Google form as I had originally intended. Just collecting the data. The cool thing though with the cool thing with the forms is that everything that it collects, it's gonna put it in an Excel sheet for you. And both Microsoft Forms and Google Forms does that. So then now you can analyze the information. As a matter of fact, for Google Forms, I use Google Forms to mark my student work. So I create my mark sheet using the forms, and then for each student, it creates that spreadsheet, and then they just give them with the ID number, and then they can go to that spreadsheet and see how much they were awarded for each item and the final grade for that assignment. It's pretty cool. So there are different ways that you can utilize forms, whether it's Microsoft or Google. Let's move on to the next slide. Google Drive. So Google Drive, the benefits to Google Drive is pretty much the same thing as OneDrive, but of course with Google Drive, the free account only comes with 15 gigs of space, right? As opposed to 1 terabyte. I mean, all right, so it's the same thing. Allow students to organize their files, ability to share large files, and anyone with the link can view can be sent, or anyone with the link can edit, can be sent to our VLE, right? Moving on to benefits of spreadsheet. So earlier, I showed you, I use the spreadsheet to just do my class register, right? And that's just a simple execution of using spreadsheets. But there are services out there that you can use that would do the attendance register for you. Mr. Shelton, I had asked him to do a presentation on Teacher Aid. That's one of the services that I told you that is paid. I don't use it personally, but you can create your rubric in there. You can mark your attendance in there. You can set up your seating chart in there. It is amazing. And then he recently got introduced to another one called Idosio, something like that, which he said that he could present on as well. Another paid service, but everything for your classroom management is in one location, and which is why it's so awesome. As I said, I stick to free. I'm a Google girl, I said that. So I just figure out how can I do this with my Google. With me? So I'm not telling you you have to. I'm just saying the options are out there. I also create my course schedule using spreadsheets. So before the course begins, before the semester begins, I say, okay, week 1, this is the topic, and I give them the date. Because it's a spreadsheet, you know, when you put in the date in one, you just say +7. If it's a week later, or if it's 2 days later, you go +2, and it automatically calculates the dates for the rest of them for you. And, you know, if there's pre-work, I have a column for pre-work, and it tells them what the pre-work is, the topic for the day. If there's an assignment due on that day, what assignment is due. So they have a nice little layout as to what the course is going to be like. And the only reason why I do it as a spreadsheet is because it's just easier for me to do the calculations instead of having to go, okay, so calendar, okay, Monday class, the first Monday class is on this date, and you know. And when I create that spreadsheet, the schedule, I can track when our holidays as well. So then I know, oh, don't plan a class for this date because we know UA is not going to pay us if there's a holiday or a sports day. What are the days? Sports days,
Sports day, graduation. I cannot remember any others right now, but definitely sports day, graduation, and public holidays, we don't get paid. You cannot claim for those days on your e-time sheet. So tracking those dates are very important. Why are you giving me that look? You only get paid for the time that you teach. So it's important to track those days. And then if you need to plan a makeup class and all that stuff, when you're doing that schedule and you spot, oh, sports day is on this day, or it's a public holiday, you can automatically go to Tanis and say, Tanis, my class is on a public holiday. Can I schedule a makeup class, and when can I do that, and when is the lab available, or when is this classroom available, so on and so forth. So that schedule for me, it works out great. Yeah, I can really plan around my course. As I was saying before, I use it for grading, and we do it for grading because we have to send a spreadsheet to whomever we're sending the spreadsheet to. Even as a coordinator, when I'm uploading grades, I am not joking. This is what we have to do as coordinators. So when you send it to Miss Rowe, she gets the Excel sheet, and please, 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 please give it as XLS, not XLSX, not the new version. It has to be 97 to 2003. Yes. So as a coordinator, what I have to do when you send me in the new version, I have to open it up in Excel, and then I have to go File, Save As, 97 to 2003, and then I have to log into SAS, and then I say, SAS, take this Excel document for me. And if SAS decides, because sometimes it doesn't for me, if SAS decides to take the Excel sheet, then it will upload the student's work. But if the student's ID number not in number order, it's an issue, it's a problem. So please help out your coordinators, give them in XLS format, and make sure that the ID numbers are in number order. So let me show you. Yep. No, as in the ID numbers.
And the column is designated as a numbers column?
No, as in the ID numbers are in order from lowest to highest. Yeah. And sometimes I get an error message saying that it should be a text column, but I don't think that works for I don't think that happens for everybody. I think it's because I'm using an old machine. But yes, let me, again, no, I don't have, oh, this is a different account. Okay. So, and you do this in spreadsheets or in Excel. So have you ever used the sort in Excel? Right. And then we just make sure that we take the option that says expand, right. So ascending order, and then you just say expand to the other columns, and it will organize everything for you according to the student ID number. I just always, you can go back to the slide for me. I just always ensure that, I don't know, I'm paranoid that it always carries the information for each student. It's the right thing that it carried over. But yeah, we're going good. All right, not making bad time at all. All right, Blogger is another service that is in Google. So once you have a Google account, you just go to blogger.com and you log in with the same credentials that you would use in any of the Google services. I used to use this one a lot when I was in Montego Bay, because my course outlines in Montego Bay said the students had to blog about, they had to reflect on what they're creating using a blog. And it actually worked out nicely for some of the students. At first, when I said, hey guys, you need to blog about, you know, your experience. Yes. Sorry.
Alright. So, especially the third years.
Yes.
They seem to have zero time for anything at all. And if you give them anything that seems like additional work,
A
attach a grade to it, then it's not additional work.
They're not interested.
Yes.
Even if it will help them, even if it will. They're not.
Attach a grade to it every single time. So when I was in Montego Bay, one blog entry was 1% of your total grade. So it's not a lot. So sometimes, you know, they will forego, but nonetheless, attach a grade. Once a grade is attached, they'll do it. It's not nonsense. And they had to reflect on what they had created. But what I realized when I first executed it, the students didn't know how to blog, right? Or even what aspect of the reflection that they want to talk about. So after a while, what I had to do, I had to give them guided questions for each entry. And I found that worked. But I know. But that seemed to, because even then, you know, there are going to be exceptions where those students go, I still don't know. But at least with the questions, a good portion of them knew what to type. And then they could always go back and view what it is that was happening. And they could comment, if they so choose to, they could comment on each other's blogs. Now, the hassle that I had with Blogger was that I had to have each student's email address and manually add those email addresses. So I had to go into Blogger, go into settings, and then say, type in that email or copy and paste that email address, email, and then say save, and then those students would have access to contribute to the blog as well, right? It's not a very big deal, but that was the most tedious thing for me to do when it came on to the Blogger. I use it as a critiquing tool as well. So again, I would create a blog entry, and you can get a link to a specific entry and say, okay guys, this is the link, upload your images, upload your videos, blah, 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 to this entry, and then we'll all critique it. So that was something that worked, but what I was finding was they weren't so comfortable with the interface with Blogger. So it's not that it doesn't work, it works. But Yammer, I found that worked better because Yammer feels a little bit more like a Facebook, more social than everybody contributing to it. There are, yeah, because blogs are social media stuff, but yeah. But that was my only drawback. So at the moment, I don't use Blogger in my workflow. I'm just letting you know that it's available. And what Dr. White says he uses, instead of using Yammer or Blogger or any of those tools, inside Orvally, they have wikis available inside Orvally. So remember when we were saying we clicked add activity when we were creating the assignment was at the top, but we have a whole lot more options. Wikis is one of them, and discussion, I think discussion forum is what the label is, that you can add, and you can have now the discussion within Orvally. Now, just backtracking, because I know we've completed Orvally, but one of the things that Orvally also does for us is that you're able to track the registered students. So what we've been doing is we've been accommodating students who aren't registered, and then what will happen is at the end of the school semester, you do up your grade sheet, and the coordinator has to separate who is registered from not registered, and then we have to create a manual grade sheet. So get a piece of paper and write up for that student and submit their grades using the manual grade sheet. That has been causing two types of problems. First and foremost, some of these students don't pay for them school fee. Them finish the 3 years, they still don't pay. They leave, and a couple years later, they say, hey, this organization,
needs to see my paper, I'm ready to pay for my degree. I will take on any additional fees. I will take it on so that I can get my grades. And so some persons are able to skate by when really and truly they shouldn't be allowed to skate by, right? So using the RVLE will let you know the persons who are registered. You can choose if you want to incorporate them in your classroom, but really and truly you have no obligation to include them within your classroom, right? So it is always recommended, even though I'm showing you the the Office 365, they have to be registered to have access to the Office 365. But the Blogger, that's an outside service. So even though they're in class and they're participating, again, you don't necessarily have to award them a grade, right? And then when you look at it from the institution standpoint, really and truly, that's the contract. The contract is you pay us for the education and we give you an education, we give you the learning. Why is it that we have persons in the classroom that are getting the learning and not fulfilling the other end of the contract? Really and truly, right? The expectation is some of these students are supposed to get sorted out. So I had a student where it was student loan, which was a problem. Student loan didn't pay. And so that's the reason why she wasn't registered. And so I accommodated her in my class, hoping that that will be sorted out so that she can be awarded her grades. You know me? So there are exceptions to the rule. There's no clear path. It's just becoming an issue for the university where there are students who are coasting by and not paying their fees. The school need to operate. We need to pay light. Everybody, we need to sort out internet and all them something, get water. Teachers need to get paid, right? And if the students aren't paying their fees, you know, how are those things are going to get paid, right? So we'll have to figure out, you know, some balance to it to say, you know, you need to be registered in order for you to be in my class, kind of thing. And so RVLE, try your best to pipe everything through RVLE. All right. So I can show you the Jamboard because Jamboard is Google, right? So for, I started to explain, Jamboard is located at jamboard.google.com. Now, if you try to research Jamboard, Jamboard is a different type of service through Google. It's hardware and software. What we're going to access is the software for free. Remember I was telling you sometimes you can, right? We're going to access the software for free, but they actually sell a board, right? That's called Jamboard that you can interact with. Here's Mr. Shelton that we've been waiting on since Wapia. I think about kill Philip. But I'm just going to finish up the demonstration with Jamboard, right? So you can find the software at jamboard.google.com. And what we're going to do, click on the link that you see that's available. You're on it? All right. Click on online teaching tools for me. And right now it's all white. I can activate a marker. What the color? There we go. I can activate a pen. You can activate a pen. What? It's magic. It's insane. It's crazy. Right? So both of us can be in the same space and we can collaborate. And one of the things that I think that this is best suited for, which Mr. Shelton stepped in at the perfect time, right? Storyboarding and story development. This is one of those things that you can use it for. So,
what's this?
Jamboard. I shouldn't say it. Should I say it to him?
Yes, you should. She really scared.
You can even put in notes. You can put sticky notes, and what I like about it is each person can get a different color sticky note. you know, somebody's contributing and you want to know what somebody else has contributed, you can assign each person a color. Or you can go based on subject matter with these sticky notes, with the colors, right? And you add, you click save, and there you have your sticky note. I can change the color and bam, save, and I have sticky notes, and you can move them around. And that can help with any brainstorming exercise that you have, or if you want to demonstrate how to lay out a storyboard, you can draw in there and you can type in there, and it will help with storyboard development. And if Mr. Jackson was here, with script development, because that's how we flesh out ideas for scripts, right? We start out with brainstorming exercises. So I like this one right now. I'm using this with a marketing team that I'm working with, and we're trying to brainstorm a hashtag. And so each of us has been posting in there these different hashtags, and every now and then I can go back and go, oh, this hashtag sounds good, this hashtag sounds good. And they can go in, they see some of the stuff that I post, you with me? So it's stuff, and the cool thing about it is you can create the Jamboard from the beginning of the semester and then simply share the link to it and post it in your RVLE so the students can interact on it if you want them to interact. And this is how you share that. And go through that. So let me go back. No, that was undo, sorry. Sometimes, did I save it? Yes, I did. All right, let's go back. Wait, where am I? Am I flopping myself in front of everybody? No, let's go back. Yes. Whew. That was scary a while ago. All right. So I can create a new Jamboard by clicking plus. Yeah. And give it a name. Tester, I don't know. Okay. Go back to Jamboard. And then just like with any Google Drive document, I just click on the three dots. And no, where are you? Share? Sorry. No. Inside the document, I can click share. Just like with Google Docs, and you can say, anyone with the link can view, anyone with a link can edit, so on and so forth. Or if you want to add collaborators in there manually, you can add the email addresses and say if they have edit rights or whatever. It's awesome sauce. Or at least to me, what do you think? Since you've joined the class, Mr. Shelton, what are your thoughts?
Looks useful. I'm not aware of Jamboard. Could look into it.
You could look into it. All right, so I'm gonna give Mr. Shelton, you ready to do the presentation? I'm gonna give Mr. Shelton the last 16 minutes that can cover it, right? To talk about the e-time sheets, because that is very, 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 very important. So, Senor Shelton, have at it.
And the buyers. All right. I don't have a PowerPoint presentation to show you. I'm just showing you right off the bat how it works, right? So for the e-time sheet, you'll have to log into PeopleSoft. The same login that you use for your ID number. I mean, your login usually for uemona.edu.jm, which is the school's email address, right? Is the same login that you'll use for PeopleSoft on almost everything UE based. Okay? So it would be then your, as you can see, that's my ID number there, pre-saved on my iPad. You know what I'm saying? Just saying. Right? With all my password saved. You know, I don't have to try and remember anything. Sign in. All right, so You hope. Right, so it's the same password that you'd use to access the email and you'd use to access OURVLE. It's the same password. Your username would be your ID number and your password is whatever password you use to sign in. Right, and this is taking away, oh, there we are. So once you log into PeopleSoft, your address would be at psoft.mona.ua.edu. What you want to do is go here to eTimesheet, right? And so once you select eTimesheet, it will take you to the page. Now you're going to see it populated with approved timesheet, timesheets, and my timesheet. What you want to do is go to my timesheet. Okay? So once you click my timesheet, it's going to be populated with a few tabs. One is find an existing value and the other one is adding a new value. Now, finding an existing value is in the case you had submitted a claim and it wasn't, you probably saved it pending more data, and so you want to find it. You could probably go here and you click that little magnifying glass there, and it will show you everything that UE has paid you for years. So this one is all the way from 2017 and probably earlier than that, right? Come all the way forward, okay? And so you could go there and search for whatever previous timesheet or claim form that you have there. All your payment will be there. So everything that you would pay, like your pay slip, is there, okay, digitally. But when you want to make a claim, it would be best to go to add new value. Now, HR normally submits a number that gives you can claim from that number, right? So when you look here, you'll see company, Oracle is set up that way, company's UE, and your pay group. All of that is in the number that HR gives you, right? So the pay group that you are in, the period of time that you'll be paid for, and your ID number and the employee record. Now, as a newbie, you might not know what record number, employee record to go for, right? I didn't. I used to struggle with that. So one day I called HR and they said, just click that little thing there and everything pertinent to you will be populated. So that would be my employee number. So I teach in Montego Bay as well as here. So I have several, I have what, 4? 1, 2, 3, 4? For now, I have 4 employee record number, right? Huh? For Department of HE Carib School of Media, it would be they're going to change that. Because this is from semester 1, right? They're going to change it. This is for storyboard and screenwriting, and then you have drawing fundamentals in Montego Bay. And of course, this year I'm going to be teaching COM 1268 in Montego Bay. So they're going to change up some things there. But in terms of what you need to find, that's where you'd find it. So I can backtrack a bit again and take you back to, let's go back a bit, how to access it again, right? Let's go back and go back even further. So again, we're right here, PeopleSoft page, login page, Oracle PeopleSoft. That's the best way to access it from UE's platform. I think the first time I got it, they posted a link in OURVLE, and I accessed that link from OURVLE, which took me here. And then you use a sign in and sign in.
You were one of the beta testers.
Yeah.
So not everybody has the access from OURVLE for the e-timesheet.
Oh, okay.
But everyone has access from PeopleSoft.
Okay. So you'd have to go to PeopleSoft. This is not something you'd have to probably jot down. You can Google it. I found it on Google. Yeah. So PeopleSoft, UE Mona, and you'll find it there, right? And they'll give you a link to here. And so, your ID number is your username, and your password is whatever password you chose. It's going to be the same username for everything where you is concerned. It's integrated. And that takes you to Oracle PeopleSoft. It's going to take a while. And once there, you're going to be looking at the links to your left of screen for the e-timesheet. There's a lot of different things going on there. Some that concerns you and some that doesn't concern you at all, right? So you see self-service, management, manager self-service, recruiting, none of those concern me. So when I come here, I don't even look at those things. I go straight to e-timesheet, right? And that takes me here to this folder. And in this folder now, I'll just go to my timesheet, right? And then now, when you're about to make your claim, you want to go to add new value, right? And so your pay group and everything will be automatically populated in there, right? Provided your HR has given you a number, right? And
your contract has been renewed.
Yeah. So if there's if your contract isn't renewed and HR don't have anything for you, then it's pointless to go here. You won't find anything, right? So for the employer record number now, you want to click that magnifying glass, which will take you here, and you look for whichever one you're claiming for. So let's say I wanted to claim for the drawing courses that I teach with the Western campus. I'll just click that. And so that descriptor is there with the employee record number, and then just go add. Right? And so it will take you here. The school will have a picture of you. So that's my mugshot. Right? So it's the same photo that they have on. This is probably there since 20 whenever. It needs to be updated, right? So everything pertinent to you is there, and this little section now is where you're going to populate, right, to get what you're claiming for. So normally, where you have the date there, because if you're on the system, but you're claiming for a date that is outside of your contract, the system is going to tell you no.
Okay. So that said, sorry to infringe, Mr. Shelton. So what happens is when your contract is being sent over, I don't know if you're aware, but your timetable is also sent over at the same time just for this purpose. So if it is that you've taken a long time to finalize the date and time for your classes, then that will impact sending over the contract to then impact when you can access this service. Yeah?
Question. For my the Form 3399 class, the research, and the 30-minute TV magazine program, the dates are fixed for the time that we need the students. But in addition to that, they will have to do recordings for their videos to put it together for the magazine.
You're sorry, continue.
No, to do that within the 3-hour session is limited.
Impossible. Yeah.
Yeah. So the suggestion was made to do it on a Saturday or at some other time as decided by the students' availability.
You're not getting paid for it.
So, okay.
Yeah, so unless what you can do, you'd have to make that arrangement with Tanis from early and then see if, because there's no guarantee.
Right, because it's hard to decide when that day is going to be.
Yeah, even when I'm for my animation lecturers, I try to do everything within the 13 weeks. Because even if they come back for an assessment, so let's say the students have a final assessment to present on, and you want to treat it like an exam, and so you say, all right, students, this date outside of the exam, outside of the teaching hour, the 13 weeks, so week 15, you can come in and present on your stuff, so that I can give you a grade. Part-time lecturers don't get paid for that. So I try for my part-time lecturers to have everything within the 13 weeks that they need to do it.
But that might put some pressure onto them.
because that those extra hours that they contribute, it's a contribution. It's a donation to University of West Indies. And every time when I send out stuff to them, I say, listen, this is not mandatory. If you want to come, you can. Because again, anything that they do outside of that 13 weeks is their donation. So you try your best to figure it out. But most of the time, we donate time. Anyway, we take it. When I was part-time, the students will accost you out of class and you're trying to go about your business and you still have to donate that time. You understand? But that's how it really works. It is the timetable that Tani sends over, that is what will be logged for you, and that timetable needs to be finalized as soon as possible, sometime way before the semester begins, so that it can be sent over to HR, so that you can access this at the end of the month, so that you can make your claim. What was happening last semester, I'm not sure if you were a lecturer last semester, but a lot of persons had to wait until the end of the 3 months, right, in order to claim, because stuff was sent over and then it was taken forever to be processed and stuff, and it's not until HR has logged it, then you can make your claim, and log it properly as well, then you can make your claim on the e-time sheet. So it's strongly advised, as soon as you can settle on that timetable, settle on it, so that the information can be sent over as early as possible, so that at the end of the first month that you're here, you can actually make your claims, right? So that's the only 2 cents that I wanted to add.
Okay, so let me just backtrack a bit. So we have logged into PeopleSoft, and the menu on your left of screen, you want to go to e-time sheet, and it will take you there. Then my time sheet takes you here. Add a new value when you're about to make a claim. Look for your employee record number. No, by default 99 is going to be there. It's not your record number. Okay. Oracle is going to tell you, spit out a bag of error, and you're going to be frustrated and want to destroy the computer. But it's not the computer's fault or Oracle's fault, it's your fault. Right? So you want to look for your number, the magnifying glass, right? And so everything pertinent to you, to your ID number, will be populated here.
It's a nice set of steps, isn't it?
Right? And so I'm going to claim for a joint course in Western Campus. So I click that there, and once it's there, I can now go add. And it now takes me here. So from here, don't change anything. Don't change anything. Just where you see the tab there, that's it. That tab is automatically highlighted, the hours tab. Let it be, right? But there's this little icon there that looks like a calendar, right? So you want to click on that, and once you click on that now, you'll be given a calendar for what days you're claiming for. So normally in Montego Bay, I would be down there on a Friday, right? So you can't claim any other time because the system only knows that you'll be in Montego Bay on a Friday. If you claim for Montego Bay on any other day of the week, it won't recognize it. It's going to tell you, oh, no, right? So let's say I claim for the 3rd, which it's going to tell me no anyway, right? Because school hasn't begun yet. School is not in session, right? So now I can go there, and another important bit of information is that once your contract has been renewed or approved, these time in, time out things are going to be populated with money, right? So yeah, it usually is. It tells you, as a part-time lecturer, it's going to tell you how much money for the time plus. So let's say the university is paying you $1,900 and something dollars.
The rate increase?
I don't know. I'm just grabbing a figure there.
When I was was part-time? It was $1,770.
It's probably the same or probably a little bit more. I don't know for sure. Right? But let's say that's, so for your time, for that hour, it's that. But then it pays you for what they call preparation, lesson preparation. So it's doubled, right? But it kind of also depends on the contract that you have with Huey. Because I remember one time I told some colleagues of mine. Yeah. Right? No, it depends. It depends. A few colleagues of mine in the animation program, I had told them in the past that you're also paid for lesson preparation. Unknown to me, they had a different contractual agreement with Carmack. So they weren't being paid for lesson prep.
Being paid for the hours?
Yeah, but the hours...
Oh, it's a greater rate?
It's a greater rate. So they would not be giving lesson prep. So my basic, so if you have the basic contract where you're being paid $1,700 or something an hour, right? And usually you get a cluster of 3 hours to teach as an adjunct lecturer. That is doubled, right? So you get lesson prep. And it's usually up there in your descriptors, somewhere here. I think usually up here, you will see the figure that you're being paid. And then you'll see another figure, the same figure below. It's really for lesson preparation, right? And so once you are putting the date, you can now say, okay, so the system tell you, oh, that date is a Friday, right? And you can now say what time you went in, right? So again, if your time does not match up with what is on your contract, the system is going to say no, right? So usually my class would start about 12, so I can always go there and put 12 p.m. Now there are 2 ways you can do it. You can put 12:000, right? I can't bother, right? So we just put 12 p.m., go to the next one, that's time in, so it's 3 hours, so that means at 3 p.m. I'll be finished. And now I can come here and I can search for just the course code. Now if you know the course code, you can plug it in manually, but usually everything, all the courses that you are supposed to teach will be there once you click that magnifying glass.
You can teach a whole heap of courses
right?
at Carmack.
Yeah. Right? Some of these need adjusting because some of them are doubled, right? But they are doubled for different times, so maybe...
No, because you're doing multiple tutorials.
Right.
That's why come 1268 is there so.
Right. I forgot I teach it in Montego Bay as well. Right, so you can pick from there now the course that you're teaching. So in this case, Drawing Fundamentals is Media 1006. So pick that one, right? And it's there populated. And now this is where the system is going to tell me no, because school has started, right? So once you have that there, right, the rate that, so there it is. So once you have selected those things, teaching, $3. Well, it's 3 hours, that's what it's saying, right? And lesson prep, 3 hours. So you're being paid twice, right? And so your rate will be right here, the rate that you're being paid, right? And so the total for that rate will be right here as well, okay? So once I go and I click add, because I might have more than one course claiming for, right? Or I might be claiming for a month. So it's multiple claiming. But this is, I can't go any further than this, right? Because once I go add, well, apparently, no, I know why this happened. So normally, yeah, okay, normally, I would not be able to do this normally. Why? Because my contract hasn't begun yet, right? So contractually, there would be nothing there to say that I'm on. As a matter of fact, I should not even be able to access PeopleSoft, right? Because my contract has not been renewed, right? But I think what happened is that semester 1, I got contract for the year, right? Yeah, I got contract for the year. So for others, might not be the same. You might just be contracted to to work for one semester. So you cannot claim on another semester, right? Yeah.
My question is, can I put more than one courses in that spot there, or do I have to
Yeah, man, you can do more than one course. You can do more than one. So let's say for that month I only taught once in Montego Bay, which is what I just did there, right? I can now go and pick another date, and let's say on a Monday I would normally, Tuesday.
Wednesdays come to 12:68.
Okay, let's go for Wednesday. So Wednesday of this week, come 12:68. What time is it now?
12.
Cutting it close, but okay. So I can go here and click the 8. It says it's Wednesday, and I can now go and put my time. My time is probably, say, 9 o'clock, 9 a.m.
9 a.m.
And then I come over here, and so it's 3 hours. No, usually it's 1 hour for tutorials. So that would be 10 to 10 a.m. And then I come here now, and I can click that magnifying glass and look for COM 1268. And I have to choose the one that says, because I teach it in both places. I teach it in Montego Bay, and I teach it at Mona campus, right? So I'd have to say which one. So for me, FHE is Mona, right? Faculties of Humanities and Education. And the Western campus usually has its own signifier there, right? So because I'm claiming from Mona, I could go ahead and look for COM 1268 and look for the FHE tag, which is this, this one, right? So you can go here and click that, and see it says now it populates tutorial COM 1268, and I can go ahead, right, and add another one. So yeah, you can add multiple courses if you're teaching multiple courses, right? I mean, if you are teaching multiple courses for the week, and you get, let's say you're teaching 5 courses, won't happen, right? As adjunct lecturers, you don't get too much load, right? But let's say you're teaching 5 courses, 3 hours a piece. That's a nice little haul for the right? For the week, you can add those 5 courses with your 3-hour slots for the week. And once you're done, what I normally like to do, because sometimes, every now and then, MITs will be a thorn in your side, and you will send something. I have to look in the camera. Yeah, every now and then, MITs is a thorn in our sides, right? Right? And so you will hit submit, and there will be this little thing up there just getting busy, telling you, it's processing, and that will go on for the rest of the day. Yeah. So what I like to do is save your claim. So once you hit submit,
if it doesn't work,
if it doesn't work, or your claim is saved, and you don't have to go over it again.
And re-enter every single.
Yeah, trust me, it's like pulling teeth, especially when your confidence in the system is at a low, right? Right? Yeah, to go do that over, it's annoying. Okay, so but essentially that's it in a nutshell. So once you have saved or submitted, then somewhere down there, I know I won't be able to do that now, because there's no way the system is going to agree to that now, right? But once you send it, there's going to be an error down here at the bottom that tells you that it's pending approval.
And I think his Tanis or Dr. White.
Yeah. So it goes through a few people who approves. It goes to Tanis first, and then Dr. White, and then once they have approved, it goes back to HR, and that's pretty much it for the e-timesheet.
Yeah. That helped? It's like, no, it didn't help. I don't want to go through all of that to get my money.